everyone, welcome back. So in this video we'll learn or we'll write a program to check if the number entered by the user is palindrome or not. Okay, so let's start by creating a new class, and I'm using BlueJ editor. If you want to use any other editor for this, that's perfectly okay. So we start by creating a new class in BlueJ, and let's in short I'll write the name of the class as Palindrome. Okay, and click on OK. Now right click on this icon, open editor. So this will open the screen. Just maximize the screen and delete these comments. This code is auto generated by BlueJ. We don't need this code, so that's why I'm deleting this. And this method has been created for us by BlueJ, so change the return type of the method to void, and let's leave the name of the method as it is. You can change it if you want, and we'll be passing the number as parameter. Now this n is the number which we have to check whether it is palindrome or not. Now firstly, before we start writing the program, if you have not already subscribed to the channel estudy.in, kindly do so, and please click on the bell icon, so this way you will get notification whenever I post any new video, and please don't forget to click on the like button. Okay, so getting back to the program. So what is a palindrome number? So a palindrome number is a number which reads the same from the front and from the back. That means 1 to 1. So when I read 121 forward or backwards, it is 121. So that means we can say, in other words, that the reverse of the number is the same as the original number. So it can be any number. Let's say 1331. It is a palindrome number. We enter another number 13431. Now this is again a palindrome number. It reads the same. If you read it from the front, it is 13431. If you read it backwards, again it is 13431. So we have to check whether the number entered by the user is palindrome or not, and we do not know whether it is a 2-digit, 3-digit, or a 4-digit, or a 5-digit number. So our logic should work for all the digits. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so what we have to do is basically we have to find the reverse of the number and compare the reverse with the original number. If it is equal to the original number, then it is palindrome. So let's start, and we'll take a variable int rem to store the remainder, and we take another variable, let's say r. Okay, and I'm using while loop here. If you want, you can use for loop for that. So while n is greater than 0, let me write the logic first, then I'll explain it. Then rem is equal to n mod 10. R is equal to r into 10 plus rem. Then n is equal to n divided by 10. Okay, and close the curly braces of the while loop, and we should initialize r to be 0. Okay, and outside the loop here, okay, this logic should give me the reverse of the number, and outside the loop here, what we have to do is we have to see if r is the reverse, is equal to n. In that case, we will say system.out.println palindrome, else we will print it is not palindrome. Okay, now let's see how this logic is working. Now here I've taken n. Okay, let's suppose the number n, let's remove this. Let's suppose the number n value, we have n, and we have another variable which is rem, and we have another variable which is r. Okay, now let's suppose the number entered by the user is 1331. Okay, and what is the, okay, and now, so initial value of r is 0. Okay, now here when we first enter the loop while n is greater than 0, so what is rem? Rem is 1331 mod 10. It means it will divide 1331, that means this number, by 10 and store the remainder in this variable. So when you divide 1331 by 10, the remainder would be 1. So that means the value of rem becomes 1. Now in the next step, let's write it in the next line. Then what in the next step, what do we get here? That means rem is 1. Okay, now r was initially 0, so r becomes r into 10. 0 into 10 is 0 plus rem, that means 1. Okay, so it becomes 1. and then we say n is equal to n divided by 10. So when you say n is equal to n divided by 10, this basically means 1331 divided by 10. So when you divide it, it will store the quotient of the division. So if you divide 1331 divided by 10, the quotient would be 133. Okay, so that means the number becomes 133. It stores the quotient in the number, so the number changes to 133. Okay, now in the next iteration, when it again goes here, now the number has become 133. So 133 mod 10, that means divide 133. Mod is modulus. This, as we know, this gives us the remainder of the division. So 133 mod 10 will give me what the remainder? The remainder would be 3. So that means here I get 3. Now the new remainder is 3. Now r is equal to r into 10. So initial value of r was 1. 1 into 10 gives me 10 plus rem. Rem is 3. So 10 plus 3 gives us 13. Okay. Now 133 divided by 10. That means this step. 133 divided by 10. So divide 133 by 10. What will be the quotient? The quotient will be 13. Okay, you can check because it is an integer division, so there will not be any decimal storage. Okay, so the number will be 13 now. Okay, now in the next iteration again, what happens? 13 mod 10. The remainder is again 3. Okay, so the remainder is 3. Now in this step, r into 10, that means 13 into 10 gives me 130 plus remainder, that is 3. So this becomes 130 plus 3, that means 133. Okay, now here what was the previous value of n? That was 13. So 13 divided by 10. So that means the quotient is 1. When you divide 13 by 10, the quotient is 1. So we get 1 here. So new value of n is 1. Okay, now in the next iteration again, 1 is greater than 0. So when you divide 1 by 0, what is the remainder? This division is not possible when the divisor is greater than the dividend. In that case, in Java, what it will do is, when we say 1 divided by 10. So when you do 1 divided by 10, 1 is smaller than 10. So 1 is the remainder and the quotient is 0. So what will happen here is 1 is the remainder. Let's just correct this. Okay, right, so this is our remainder. Okay, so now in this case, what is the remainder? 1 is the remainder, and this becomes 133 into 10, 1330 plus 1. So this gives me 1331. And when you do 1 divided by 10, the quotient would be 0. So in this case, we can write what is the number? The number becomes 0. So the condition is false. N is no longer greater than 0. So it comes out of the loop. Okay. So when it comes out of the loop, now we have got the number in R. This is R. Okay. So now we have to compare whether the R, which is the reverse of the number, is equal to the original number. As you can see, it's equal. So when you compare it with N, we can't do the comparison with n. Why? Because see, the value of n is 0. So when we came out of the loop, the value of n is no longer the original value. It has become 0 because we kept on dividing it by 10. So we have lost the original value. So what we should do is, we should introduce a new variable here, let's say t, and store the value of n in this new variable. So we should say int t is equal to n. That is because n is becoming 0. So we store the value of n in t, and instead of comparing it with n, we compare it with t. Okay, now save this program, and we have to remove this code, otherwise it will not compile. And now we will compile it, and we have got no syntax errors. So minimize this window, and now right click, and you have to choose this new palindrome. This is how we run it in BlueJ. So when you do it, it creates an instance of the palindrome class. Now right click and void sample method. Choose this, enter the number. Let's enter 1331. So it should print it is palindrome. See. Now let's run it again for a non-palindrome number. Let's enter any other number, 2, 3, 6 or 5. And say, so see, it is saying it is not a palindrome number. So this is how we can check whether the number is palindrome or not. Okay, so thanks for watching the video, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel.